Hey, welcome back. I'm bringing all the energy tonight.
He turned it on.
It's Geekshow Helpdesk. Let's go.
He was just catching up for being a second and a half late into the intro.
Yeah, he turned it up.
Yep.
This is the Geekshow Helpdesk, where we talk about news, tech news, science, all the tech gadgets, whatever. We talk about awesome stuff here on this show. We're amazing, and you love us. Thanks for being here, dear listener. We love you. And boy, that was the PC laptop guy.
Did you use all your energy right there?
Oh, it's all gone.
All
I'm in crazy
reserve.
mode tonight. Yeah. So thanks for being here. Let's take a moment. Just a moment, and intro our panel. Here, to the side, we got Tony.
Hey, I'm Tony. Check me out on the Twitters at QuadTTony. I tweet there sometimes, and on other Geek Show podcasts.
Thanks, Tony. Downstage right, we got the Jaren.
Hey, I'm Jaren. You can find me on Twitter at Jaren.
Did you take up smoking, buddy?
I was waiting for Tony's Jesus priest.
Yeah.
No
I
energy.
was almost there, but I decided not to. I'm not driving today, so I don't have to, Quality control is Lando's job right now.
Yeah, Jaren, you're not bringing the energy, dude.
I
You
got
need
it.
to turn on the go mode, Jews, like Lando has. I have no
me-
energy. It's
Give
gone.
me a Celsius, and I'll be amped for like an entire 2 days.
Yeah, but then we have to put up with the whining. I can't.
And the
handle that.
excuses.
My caffeine crash. 3 days later, I'm coming down from it.
Well, if I drank it during the podcast, boy, I'd be up all night, and you'd have a very energetic Jaren.
I had 3
Ooh,
sips
I'm
of
excited for
Celsius. I
that.
can't sleep.
I'm excited to hear that one day.
And I've saved the best for last. Right below me, we have the Owen.
Me. That's me. The vanilla base, as I've been called. The ice cream that you put into all other ice creams to make them have volume.
You're
Some
the
people-
ice cream that holds the show together.
Some
And
people
talks the
like
most.
vanilla the best.
It's true.
Yep, it's true.
I'm not vanilla bean though.
Can I
I'm not.
pour hot fudge all over you?
Nope, please don't. No, that imagery. Okay, and we have a host who always wears a green shirt on podcast day. His name's Lando.
To be fair,
To be
I
fair,
wear green shirts every day, not
Yeah.
just podcast day.
We
When
can
you
see
work
your
for
green
a
screen coming over
university,
the top of you.
you tend to own that university's primary color, a lot of it, and you wear a lot of that color. So
It's
yeah,
like working
Is it
in
green?
Target. You got a red shirt.
it's always green. Yeah, UVU, dude. It's green. We're a
Oh,
green
UVU.
university.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you work at Target, you have a lot of red shirts.
Right. If you work for University of Utah, you have a lot of red shirts.
Or that.
I have a lot of I have a lot of gray shirts. Right,
It's
Jaron?
just because you like it.
But I don't. Oh, I thought it was an IT thing because I worked in IT.
No, I think that's an Owen thing.
Okay.
I like
Anyway.
you, Owen.
I have a friend
Okay,
at
Lando,
work that
Lando, okay.
he showed me a picture of his closet one day because I only ever saw him wearing black polo
Taupe.
shirts.
That's all he had.
Yeah, all it says, entire closet, black polo shirts.
It's like a stage tech.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Jaren, do we got any emails?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, let's go.
Wait, do we? Are you sure?
Hmm?
You said no earlier, so.
You sounded so unsure I didn't push the button.
I was just buying something. Okay, here we go.
Wait,
Got an
whoa,
email
whoa, whoa.
from
Priest.
What
Chris.
were you buying?
Bands of Mourning Leatherbound edition.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh,
Move on.
Jared, we're
Good
podcasting right now,
choice.
bud. Not shopping
Nope.
time.
Nope.
It's podcasting
I'll allow
time.
It. Nope. I'll allow it. That's a great choice.
This is not Brandon Sanderson swag time.
It
Read
totally is.
Read the emails, please. Please read the emails. Please keep the show on the
I'm
track.
excited for his new book.
No.
Oh.
This is not tech related.
Yeah.
We don't. This is
That's
not
a
Geek
great
Show
Wind
Book
book.
Show.
and Truth.
Wind and truth.
This
Yeah.
is Geek Show Help Desk. We talk about tech news, science related gadget stuff.
I'm-
It's 60 hours long. It's
Well,
crazy.
that's normal for Brandon Sanderson lately.
Does the length make it more techy? What's happening?
Who put
What's
me on
your-
mute?
Who else would you think it is? Who has
I don't have that
kind of
power.
Whatever. Anyway, we got an email from our friend across
you.
the pond, Chris Cushley. He
Hey,
says,
Chris.
I'm still way behind, but I have all the Geek Show episodes moved to the top of my podcast list to catch up.
Nice.
Just listen to the episode where you discuss speed limiters being mandatory in new cars in the EU.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic idea. It's not a governor like mentioned. It's more of a stop you creeping over the speed limit function. It can use GPS or cameras in the car to read road signs and set the limit accordingly. This stops you having to constantly check your speed and stay at or below the limit. You just press your foot down till the pedal stops and not think about your speed again. If you need to override the limit for whatever reason, you can do so by pressing harder on the accelerator pedal. It has a 2-stage kind of system like a controller. Can't remember which one, but the trigger has a full motion, then it stops, and you can click it like a second action. That's like a camera.
Like a GameCube controller.
Does that?
Yeah, the GameCube controller did that.
Oh,
It is.
okay.
Sure did.
You should know this, Tony.
Well, I remember the GameCube buttons had analog. I think
No, the
2
shoulder
stage,
buttons.
though.
You go.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Oh, yeah,
You're
the
right.
shoulder buttons did. Yep, at the very end, there was a click.
See,
Anyway,
I
he goes
know
on.
gaming stuff,
You're
guys.
right.
It's more to
good
stop
job.
accidental speeding, as if you really want to speed, you can. I think it will reduce the amount of speeding fines, as the majority that are only slightly over do it by accident and not checking their speed as often. Those that go way over the limit can then be charged as normal and hopefully larger fines/punishments, as it's then 100% intentionally putting lives at risk. One of the annoyances with my car is having to enable the speed limiter all the time. I wish the UK would implement this, Chris.
Does he mean by speed limit? Does he mean cruise control? Owen's still muted. Sorry, bud.
You've been talking for a while there.
Yeah, he's been muted for a bit here.
I was thinking about
I
that.
unmuted him after Brandon. You must have
Yeah.
muted yourself.
How? I'm
Yeah,
not smart enough to do that.
Tony's great at gaslighting.
Yeah.
That's smart
You know
enough.
what?
But,
it
like,
is,
I was
you
thinking about
I'm
cruise-
sure you muted yourself.
I was thinking about cruise control. Cruise control is really helpful on a highway with no
Yeah.
stops. And this one might be good for like in the city zones where the speed limit changes on specific roads and you're just like, oh crap, I didn't realize I was going 30 in a 25 or
Yup.
you know,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. Like
I could
when
say it would
the-
be helpful there.
I would 1000% love this on my car.
Yeah, because a lot of
Really?
times I drive.
think I would,
Cruise
though.
control is useful on the highway. I absolutely set that. I'm like, there's no accidental anything. I just set it to 70 or whatever.
you,
and
have,
go.
have you ever
In
used cruise
my-
control with the adaptive cruise, Owen?
What do you mean?
So the adaptive cruise is where you set the cruise control, but you also set a distance to follow the car in front of you. So if you're cruising along at 70 and the guy in front of you is at 65, your car will see the car in front of you and be like, oh, nope, it matches at 65.
Yeah.
So you can't ever,
you got
like,
you got a
it's adaptive.
problem. You got a problem, Lando. See, you get to drive new cars because of your privilege. I'm not driving a car that can see anything.
Yeah.
My headlights barely make it so I can see the
You
road.
know, but that's
His
like
car
the,
makes him see worse.
that's the
Yeah.
that's the best feature I have in my car. Jaren's Tesla will like drive itself, so he's the one with the real
I have
privilege.
beeps. I have beeps if I come within 2 meters, like
That's pretty
4
good.
feet. Yeah, so it lets me know if I'm about to crash
I'm trying
or
to
hit
I'm trying
somebody.
to I'm trying to rag
But
on
that's about
Jaren
it.
here. Please let me do that. He's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one.
Screw you,
Talking about
Jaron.
How
Yeah,
Jaren's rich? Is
perfect.
that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Wait, it's supposed to make me feel bad?
Yeah, you and your privilege, idiot.
Oh, I feel awful. Ouch, Lando. Ouch.
You got
Okay,
it.
what other emails do you have? More-
Got another. Oh, thanks, Chris.
for
Appreciate
writing.
different perspectives there. I wouldn't
100%.
like it personally, but
Yeah, my
it's
thing,
interesting.
it should be an option, I think. I don't think it should be mandatory on all cars. But it
I
would be a good
I
option.
use the adaptive cruise control on the regular streets to keep me from going above the
Wait.
speed limit.
Wait till the insurance companies get a hold of that and they can enforce it. You know. Oh, you turn that on, you get.
Oh,
lower,
never mind.
lower
I'm
amount.
with Owen or I'm with Tony on this one. It's a
That's what
bad
I mean,
idea.
Like it's. I still think it's overreach if it's mandatory. So
It 1000% is.
Got another email from John Sadler. Unfortunately, it's an entire page long. So
Give us the give us
Well,
the give
Mr.
us the key
GPT
points.
help?
he needs work from home help, setup help.
Okay.
And John, I promise you that Tony will personally respond to this.
wait a minute.
Thanks, Tony.
Because he specifically calls out Tony. He says, "Greetings, Tony." So,
Oh,
oh,
good.
perfect.
Nice.
I guess
ergo,
it's me.
Tony should respond to this personally, and
What's the gist of it, though?
I'm confident he will.
Me too.
And so, thank you, John.
Is that
the
is
gist
there?
of
An,
it.
there's no. You're not even going to give a summary,
You
Jaron.
got to summarize it, Jaron.
Come on, Jaron.
and
He gave a work from home.
he ends it with, "Anyway, thanks for all the information, even from Lango." Smiley face. And great
Lango.
podcasting, John Sadler.
I like
Well-
lingo. All right, give us the Cliffs notes, Jaron.
I don't have the Cliffs notes.
You having trouble reading?
Yeah. If you want me to read it out loud and like 10 minutes later,
No, I just wanted you to read it. in
You've
your
had
head
20 minutes to
earlier
prep for
and
the
tell us
show.
what it's about.
no, I didn't know we
He
were
did say work
podcasting
from
tonight.
home help.
Oh my
so
gosh.
he did say work from home help. So technically, Jaron read
Yeah,
the subject
I summarized it.
and the ending.
Yep.
Thank you, John.
You know what I hate
will-
most? There's people who don't read emails and then answer emails without reading them, and you're like, "Did you read the email?"
Yeah, so I'm not going to pretend like I did that. So I'm doing
good at
everyone a
this.
favor.
I feel like we're this is a
You know, I
listener
get a
that
lot of
gives us
crap.
$1.
I get a lot of crap. I get a
what's
lot of
happening
crap for not reading the third paragraph.
Well, because you pretend
so
like you know what you're saying.
You should have done that.
That's
should've
the
done
problem,
that.
Owen. No,
No, I
no,
don't
I'm not
pretend
like
I
you.
know- I don't pretend that I know like I'm saying. I just don't want you to call me out when I do that.
Can I pour
If I'm-
fudge on
if-
you yet?
No. Well,
What?
No.
Fudge?
I'm
What?
warming
What
up
is-
to it.
Hot fudge.
I'm warming up to it.
Suddenly, help Geek Show, Spicy Show. What's happening?
Suddenly erotic.
Yeah,
Is that a Reddit? Is that a subreddit? Because it should
Suddenly erotic.
Probably.
suddenly
r
erotic.
slash suddenly erotic.
Oh,
You'd
I'm
be a
feeling
great
it.
moderator, Owen. It's
No.
all you, bud.
No.
Anyway, it's an incredibly thoughtful email that Tony will answer personally.
It is quite long. I'm looking at it right
Yeah.
now.
What are the
Got
cliff
a
notes,
lot-
Tony?
Got a lot of detail. Well, he describes his current setup, which is pretty nice. He's got a really big Samsung Odyssey monitor,
Nice.
decent gaming rig going on here.
Nice.
Actually, quite a high-end gaming rig. And let's see, he's starting to work from home position in the
Yeah, I
next
saw
couple
that.
weeks, adding his work laptop into the mix, which is a Dell 7000
Hey, that's what I do.
workstation.
Go download the app Barrier. Go look up Barrier Digital KVM, and it'll let you keep your gaming mouse, gaming keyboard, and then you just basically plug in one of the monitors either to a dock or to a laptop, and the KVM Barrier lets you just mouse across, share the same mouse without any wires.
Yeah, he's.
But you can't share the same screen.
No, you gotta have separate screens.
Yeah, you gotta have.
You could do
separate
remote.
screens.
You could technically do remote desktop into your work computer or into your
If
home.
they let
and-
you.
Yeah,
He's looking
I
at
mean,
doing maybe some KVM action.
yeah, Barrier's a great
because he
option. I
wants
did
to
that.
use the same monitor, right?
Yeah.
Not a great option, Owen. Or Owen. Doesn't work. 2 monitors.
What?
What happened to Owen?
Apparently, I may.
Well,
be
let's
upset.
continue. Let's get through this.
So
Any more
his
emails,
question
Jared?
Is
Nope, that's it.
wow. Yeah, this is
This is
got a lot
painful.
of
This is
context.
painful.
Anyway,
You're the one driving.
I'll have to. Yeah, thanks for the quality.
Okay, we're
control,
moving on.
Ryan.
Thanks for the question. Tony, or we promise you, Owen, not Owen, Tony will respond in full.
Why did you kick me out?
No, nobody kicked you out.
Why did you kick me out of the show?
Why do you have Trump lips right now?
Because this is my offended face, and I don't like what was done. I don't think that was very sportsmanlike. I don't know
Sportsmanlike.
which one of you has the larger ego. Yeah.
Okay, we're moving along. Jared, talk to us about Apple things.
Apple, instead of having a giant keynote for iterative updates, they're not doing that. And
How do we
I
feel about that?
Good
I
move.
love
okay
it.
with it. Oh my
This
gosh, I
is
love it. Just
freaking
release your
awesome.
products.
This is what they should do. If it's not a big update, just put out press releases or a little video, which they've done here.
I don't know why
Anyway,
they're staggering it this week, though. I feel like they
keep
should
them in
have
the
put
news cycle.
it- Yeah, I'm sure that's why.
I'm
but I
fine
wish
with
they
it.
would have put it all at once.
Yeah, so there's going to be new announcements tomorrow. Rumors are new MacBook Pros.
Yep.
But up to this point, they've released a new iMac, new Mac Mini, new other things, which we'll get into. So let's start with the iMac.
Do you want to talk about what's powering the iMac first?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Tony.
Wait, no, not the iMac. The Mac Mini. Go ahead with the iMac stuff.
New iMac. It's their 24-inch all-in-one that was redesigned a couple years back with the new M series processors. It's just basically a processor bump. That's it.
Yep.
Their SSD pricing is still absurd. $800 for a 2 terabyte
Do we
NVMe.
know what kind
Upgrade
of?
cost is?
That's what the upgrade cost is.
Do we know who's making their drives? Is it Samsung? What drives are they putting in there? Their
No, it's
own?
all-
They're made
all-
of pure diamond.
Yeah, I mean,
Apparently,
Yeah.
platinum
they're,
plated.
they're not putting in anyone else's drives. They're soldering their own to the motherboard.
But they make the drives themselves. They have
No.
their
I'm
own.
sure
there's
they just
no
buy
way.
NAND chips from Samsung
Yeah.
or
I see.
SK Hynix or whoever.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering who the supplier is. Like,
Doesn't
could
matter.
you get
They'll
this?
charge
Could you
whatever
get
they
this
want.
somewhere else?
No.
For way cheaper. Because
No, no.
I know it's soldered, but Just saying.
So it starts at 1300 with 2 Thunderbolt ports. If you want 4 USB-C 4 ports or USB-C ports, it will start at 1500. One good thing though that they've done, the base model is no longer 8 gigabytes of RAM. It is 16 gigabytes of RAM.
oh,
So
Nice.
good on you, finally.
finally.
Thank you.
Ooh,
all
that's
right.
great.
So that is that. They also announced new peripherals. They are exactly the same as the old peripherals, but the newsworthy headline is Lightning is now dead.
These were the last holdouts.
These were the last holdouts. There's no longer a device that they sell. Well,
They
maybe
moved.
some.
They moved the charging port on the mouse, though, right? They put that
Nope.
somewhere convenient.
No, we're getting to that. We're getting to that, Owen.
Oh, and you silly goose.
So they've released a new Magic Mouse. The last one was announced in
Put some quotes
2014,
over
I
that,
think.
around that new.
So you would think, okay, they fixed the problem, right? They
Yeah,
fixed it.
they moved the charging
They
port.
took out Lightning. Great move. They put in USB-C. Great move, but nothing else has changed.
Couldn't they put a coil down there for just wireless charging even?
Sure,
Like-
they could have. My
It's-
Logitech right here has it.
Yeah, my guy.
the
Tim?
charging port is on the bottom of the mouse, and I've heard Apple supporters say that forces you to use it wirelessly. Okay, that's
But what happens if the battery's dead and you want?
that's
to
a
use it?
comment
Yeah.
for sure.
That's a
That's a
thing you could
comment.
say.
That's
Don't
something
you have
can
Those
do.
are
mobile phones?
words that form a sentence.
Do you guys
Um,
have phones?
Don't you guys have phones?
yeah, it can charge like in 10 minutes or so and last all day or something like that. But that they could also do that with the charging port on the edge too.
Yeah, they could. They could
Yeah.
satisfy both camps easily.
Uh-huh. It wouldn't look as pretty, slightly, but maybe it'd be more comfortable.
I was gonna say, well, guess what? I don't care how pretty it looks. Make it fit my hand better.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I really tried the Magic Mouse. I
Yeah,
gave
you
it
did.
I gave it the old college try.
You
And
wanted
I
the light
think
to
sucks.
suck.
I love the aesthetic things of life, right? I like looks over anything else.
It's true.
But I couldn't,
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do
It
it.
was it like
The-
literally
does it have
cramped
to-
my
does it-
hand.
Does it have two buttons? Is it a one button, two button?
It's
can-
one
you
button,
can
but
break
it
it
has like a
with a
touchpad on
right
it, so you can act as a 2-button mouse.
Oh. Stupid.
Yeah, so there's that. And today they announced a brand new Mac Mini, which is very
This
cool
thing's
looking.
freaking dope. I'm all in on this thing.
Yeah. They took cues from the Magic Mouse on this though, and put the power button on the bottom of the device.
You are freaking kidding me.
Nope. Nope.
They put the power button where?
On
Say
the
that again?
bottom of the device.
I
So
hate
you
that
have to
so
look.
much.
You have to lift it up and find it, and then
So-
push the power
so-
button to turn it on.
So, okay, what about one of those like Visa? Are they Visa mountables like a lot of other little mini PCs? Couldn't you do that with the Mac Minis before?
No, they've
on
never
the
been
back of the
mountable.
monitor?
No.
Oh,
I had that problem the other day with an
Seems
Apple TV
like-
in my office. I was trying to mount in the back of the TV in my office, and
There's
there's
nothing
no
on
good
there.
way to do it.
Oh,
think they
not
could
only is it on the
catch up to
bottom,
that.
it's at the back of the device.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of it just here. It's underneath at the back. So it is the absolute most inconvenient place you could put that button.
Okay.
They
Tony,
don't expect
okay,
you to
Tony,
turn it
okay.
off, obviously.
That's what it is.
Why
Yeah, they
the
don't-
world wanting to turn it off, Tony? Why?
Why?
Yes, tell me why.
There's any number of reasons. Perhaps electricity is expensive where you live and you want to turn it off all the way. Perhaps
Energy saver
you're-
mode's the thing to put to sleep. It's fine.
it's- no,
perhaps
it's
like any
still
computer
Sucks up
needs
less
to be
energy.
Still sucks
rebooted.
power. It's
still has power.
Less. It sucks up less power.
That's right.
That's
but
true.
It still sucks up
Yeah.
power. So let's say
So's your fridge.
let's say you want to go, you're going on a vacation for a week or more, and you want to turn your computer off while you're gone because you don't want to have it on while you're gone.
So I bet you money you could turn it off without turning it off through the menus.
I'm sure
yeah,
you
you can
could
turn it
off.
off, but you have to turn it back
You
on
have to
again
turn it back on when
via
you
the
get
power
home.
button.
What if maybe the keyboard
can't-
power button works?
I
You don't know.
I cannot
Maybe it does.
believe you are advocating for this. This is
I'm-
absolutely wild.
Like, yeah, I'm
not for
shocked
Lando.
too.
Why
for
are
Lando.
you trying to defend this terrible
Devil's
choice?
avocado, Tony. Haven't you ever
That's
heard
what
of
it
that?
is.
Devil's avocado.
Here's what I've learned.
This is how Apple fanboys do.
Yes.
You know what?
Justify,
Apple-
justify.
You know, we complain about Apple choices all the time. Oh, they removed my headphone jack on my phone. Meh. Like,
right.
but you know what?
Still
I'm
dumb.
totally fine with it. Not a problem at all. Like, they make some weird design choices, sure, that we can complain about all day long. But at the end of the day, is it really?
they're
They
just
know what's
leaving-
best.
They're just
You are
leaving
not
money on
making
the,
a
they're
case
leaving
for yourself.
they're leaving customers on the table. I'd switch over if there was a headphone jack or if
No,
they
you
did some
would
stuff.
not.
No, I wouldn't.
Absolutely, you
No, I wouldn't. Oh
wouldn't.
gosh, I can't believe
That's
I
not-
even said that.
The only
But I
thing-
would think
I'll tell
about
you,
it.
Owen, if they could get you to switch over if it had a headphone jack and an IR blaster.
IR blaster, I'd be so in. I'm gonna
Then
send
you'd- then
I'm gonna
you'd
send an
switch.
email directly to Mr. Tim Cook,
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple Cook. Big dear dude. I want to be. Help me,
That
help
IR
you.
blaster.
Help me.
And you
help
know what?
You.
The
I
thing
will
is,
come over there.
It has an IR blaster. It's one of the things that
Why in the world would I want an
reads your
IR
face.
blast for my
It's
phone?
It's
because
IR
for
that
Face
reads your
ID.
Face ID.
They took it. They took my IR blaster and moved it to the front of the phone so they could read people's faces instead. What Face
Okay,
ID?
let me-
I
let
want to
me-
be able to control my TV.
Let me
Hold
talk
on,
about
okay,
the
we're off
device
topic.
now. Yeah.
Sorry.
So the Mac Mini getting over the power button on the bottom. That's a thing.
I don't think we're getting over it.
We're walking
I'm
past
over
it
it.
now.
I'm already over it. I'm still
You
buying
were
the damn
never,
thing.
You were
What are we
never
talking about?
objecting it.
It's a brand new form factor, 5 inches by 5 inches and 2 inches tall. So
Yeah.
small, very
Get
small.
it.
It comes with an M4
average.
or M4 Pro, which is cool. It's more powerful now. $600 for the M4 and $1,400 for the M4 Pro. Yikes, that's quite a jump.
Yeah, but
That's the
to-
two ends.
To be fair,
To be fair,
that's the same price jump they had previously between the M3 and the M3 Pro.
I bet
So
that
it's
would
not
make a
like
great
Did the
flex
old one
server.
have M3
Yeah.
Pro?
Yeah, it's not like they widened the gap or anything. So, one of the neat things about this, not one of, several neat things about this M4 Pro chip, we have a base or a Thunderbolt 5 is in there, which is pretty neat. So you
120 gigabyte
Yeah,
or gigabits
baseline-
per second.
baseline speed of 80 gigabits with support up to 120 gigabits. Support for, and that would be for, that's enough bandwidth for dual 6K screens, by the way, from one cable.
Is that 60 hertz though?
Yeah, probably 60 hertz, I'm sure. World's fastest CPU core is what they're saying. Specifically, the single-threaded performance is supposed to be the best on the market right now, and much
What's in
better
the back
multi-threaded
corner?
performance.
super easy to find.
10 core CPU, 10 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores, 16 core neural engine, which they say is 3 times faster than the M1. Well, okay. The chip includes a 20-core GPU with dynamic caching, which is a much better GPU than the previous gen.
Is this the
as
This is
well.
the Pro version that you're talking
M4
about?
Pro,
yeah.
yep.
Dang, I want one actually.
And get this, the what is it? The unified memory speed, the bus, is 273 gigabytes per second on the
Ooh,
bandwidth,
Yamahama.
which
Wow.
is a massive
So they just-
increase from the previous gen, the memory bandwidth. And there's
So they just hardwired a
Speculation
piece of
is-
copper right between the two. Then they're just
Seriously.
right on top of each other.
yeah, it doubles the bandwidth of any other AI PC chips on the market.
I'm really curious about the gaming performance of it.
Well, I mean, it's going to be better for sure, but I don't know how much better it's going to be. What I'm curious for is how it would do things like run rendering Premiere videos and stuff like that. I'll bet it speeds that up quite a bit too.
Definitely in the Adobe like Premiere and render stuff.
So
Scene.
yeah, the M4 Pro is shaping up to be pretty dang cool.
Yeah, Apple's been killing it with the Apple Silicon. Let's just
So
go on record
they
here.
have. But the only disappointing thing, and this is something they did to themselves, is the M1 was so awesome when it came out the gate that they haven't been able to match that level of excitement with the
Yeah.
M2 or the M3 because
The
they've only been
performance
able
jumps.
to iterate, pretty decent uplifts gen on gen. This one looks like it'll be the first gen-on-gen upgrade that's like, okay, this might actually be really worth, especially moving on from an M1, but maybe even on from an M2 or something. So, yeah, it's looking pretty
Oh, man, I freaking
rad.
love my M2 too.
The M4 has Thunderbolt 4. M4 Pro has Thunderbolt 5 on the Mac
Yeah.
Mini. And again, the base configuration for RAM is 16 gigabytes. So let's just get their NVMe storage reasonably priced, and I wouldn't have any more complaints besides that power button.
I will 100% agree that it is incredibly overpriced, but you can always just take an external USB-C NVMe drive and
Especially with Thunderbolt 5.
Or
Thunderbolt
use
5
the
and plug
cloud
that
like
in.
everyone else does for storage, Jaron.
That depends on your internet
no,
speed,
the
though.
cloud is trash for doing things
The
like
point
trying to
of the
render
device
video
is to
and
have
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Everything
That's
in
fair,
such
but
a
for-
small package. Why would
I
I,
would-
buy other
Tony,
things to go on the site?
I would
to-
argue that the target audience of the Mac Mini is, I mean, I guess maybe the Pro. That
Pro,
aside,
with the M4 Pro for sure.
the Pro for sure, but like the base model stuff, it's targeted for people who are not
You're probably right.
doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're
And I don't
probably
think
right.
Jaren's doing that kind of stuff. I don't think Jaren needs more than 256 gigs of storage.
Why are you accusing me?
Jaren, you're not a power user, bud. Sorry.
Hey.
Maybe I can, Jaren, I will give it for your gaming laptop or your gaming rig. You probably need storage to store all the ginormous games
Oh,
in the
yeah.
world today. I get that.
Big time.
But for general use computing, how
Yeah.
much storage do you need?
That's the problem.
I
This comes in-
use-
this
I
comes
use
in
all the
because you-
computing generally. Come
My
on.
phone has 256. It
And
needs
this-
512 needs to be the baseline. Absolutely.
Really?
minimum.
And
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
Apple want to
No,
break into
man,
the
I
gaming market?
never-
Like isn't that what they're trying to do here? Like, could this be
Exactly. If they're
you know?
touting this as like a gaming machine, you need more than 256
But they're
gigabytes.
not.
Are they
I'm-
touting it as a
They're
gaming
not,
machine?
though. No,
It's
they're
Oh,
far
I'm sure
less-
they'll talk about it. They've been trying to
Yeah.
get into gaming.
with those GPU
lately.
with the
Yeah.
GPU
That's
uplift
true.
there, you're gonna hear them be like, oh, and it games as good as an NVIDIA.
Yeah.
But you get my
So-
point. My point still stands.
You can get up to
General
64.
compute usage, user people, like this is the Mac Mini is the perfect computer to buy your mom because
Yeah.
it's easy,
Don't
it's
talk
simple.
about my mom.
Yeah, bud.
And now with the
Cool.
baseline being 16 gigs of RAM, I think you could get by with the baseline no problem.
MacBook.
For a
No.
Yeah.
number of years, you know.
So
Agreed.
here's
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Mac Mini for my new family computer for my home.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's gonna be a great fit.
Why not just a
I
MacBook Air?
wish the iMac had a 120 hertz screen. Just put a better screen in that. I would totally get that for my family computer.
What is it now? 60?
60 hertz
60
in
hertz,
2024. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
Is that the same as what it was when it originally?
Yeah, it's been
Came
60
out?
hertz.
It's been 60
Yeah.
hertz since the
Forever.
2000s.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
That was a big deal back when it came out.
I kind of wish they offered the M4 Pro in the iMac form factor too. They only have the regular M4.
Yeah, they got rid of the professional level iMacs for some reason.
Yeah.
The cheese grater looking ones.
No.
They
the-
have
Oh, that's the Mac Pro.
they had the
Pros.
iMac
Oh, yeah.
Pros. I don't think that. I mean, between you, me, and the wall, I don't think they sold very well.
I don't think they did either, but I think it'd be cool as an option. But Apple's not about giving you options; they're about giving you what they think.
They know what you want. You should be able to customize everything you do with that. I want this screen. I want this hard drive.
That would be cool, but that also drives up.
Oh, you know what I just realized is the
production prices.
the base Mac Mini only has the 10 core CPU and GPU, and the base iMac has the 8 core. That kind of sucks.
Are you sure about that?
I'm looking at it right now, Tony.
The new
promise you.
iMac has the 8-core CPU, and the new Mac Mini has the 10-core M4.
For the base model, yeah.
Wow,
The
that
te-
is
the
surprising.
Mini does not come in an
So-
8 core configuration.
So that means that there are potentially 3 versions of the base M4 chip, because you have the Mac Mini version with 10 core, you have the iMac version with 8 core, and what does the iPad 4 have? Is that a 8 or a 6?
I don't think it's 6. That's a good question, though.
I think the Mac Mini is a better deal than the iPad. Not the iPad, the iMac.
Yeah. If it didn't have that power button on the bottom.
The Mac Mini is a
over it.
better deal if you
Oh.
already have a monitor that works
Yeah.
good.
No, because even with I guess that's true. You had to
Because
have a
you'd
monitor.
to buy another monitor. And that
Yeah,
would
and
be-
you're gonna buy one of those fancy
So,
Apple ones. for
iPad
LG.
has
Yeah.
up to 10 cores if you buy the more expensive one with the new 10-core GPU build as well. So, yeah, 10 core for the
there's-
iPad.
Think about do I
Okay,
want
so
the
there's 2
monitor?
versions of the
No,
base,
that's what I wanna
quote,
do.
base M4.
Yeah, they're binning.
Yeah, that's all it is. Interesting. I think that's. Did I have any? That's on my Apple News. You got anything else, Jaron?
Nope.
Sweet, moving right along. Gonna go to Owen to talk to us about Boeing, everyone's favorite company to rag on.
Man, this
Actually,
guy's-
it's not as.
Poor Boeing. It's just sad now.
Not
They-
poor
they can't-
Boeing. Poor Boeing's employees. But
Poor
screw,
us, I say, yeah.
Screw Boeing's executives.
Oh yeah.
That's fair.
So they can't catch a break. They
don't deserve a break for what
So-
they've been doing.
So two things. The first one I'll get through real quick. Starliner. Yeah, they're looking to cut that loose potentially.
Because what they've
Like-
done is produce bad stuff.
And
Yeah.
lose a lot of
Strand
money.
astronauts
Like-
in space.
And sent them to the hospital. You see that? They had to go stay in the hospital after they got back. So they're looking to. NASA is kind of being like, yeah, bud, I don't know if we. Oh, how many more flights do we have with you? Oh, 4 more flights. Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if we want those.
We're kind of busy. I'm not going to be around. It's not me, it's you. It's not you, it's me.
Nope, you got it right the first time.
Yeah. So they're getting ready to. They're exploring the option of selling off its NASA related business, and they're gonna get rid of I don't even know what they're saying here. I think they're gonna say their $250 million cost to cover the overruns. More money added to this project for all the stuff. So do you guys want to hear the total number for losses so
Sure
far?
do.
You know I do.
So far, Starliner has cost Boeing a whopping $1.85 billion in total losses.
Oof.
Under its $4.2 billion contract with NASA, Boeing retains full ownership of the Starliner spacecraft. So they didn't even sell it off. They were just kind of renting it. They're like, this is going to be so good that everybody's going to want to be on it. Everybody. We're going to sell this to Russia and China. Everybody's going to want this. So we're retaining ownership. And NASA's like, okay, fine. We'll rent those flights from you. Well, it didn't work out.
NASA's probably like, we made the right decision, guys.
Yes, NASA's like, holy crap. That was an accidental win. Because government funding never is on purpose. So there's that one. The second one is NASA has they make satellites as well, or Boeing makes satellites as well. I did not know that. I thought they just made, but they're in the satellite game, and
Cool.
so
for
they're
long,
30.
aren't.
They are not. They're the U.S. Space Force, which was interesting to see the Space Force in the news, but they are tracking 20 pieces of debris from the Intelsat 33E satellite that has just broken up. Just see ya. Broken up in space and in the atmosphere. It was supposed to be up there for 15 years. It initially had a propulsion issue getting up there, and so it slowed it down, getting it to the right orbit, and that cut 2 years off, and now it's just broken.
So how long
And
was it up there?
So it exploded, basically.
It basically fell apart. I think it was up there for it says 7 years. I read
well,
that.
Look at this down here. So it made it up there in 2016,
Yeah,
but it was
but they knew it was going to have a shorter lifespan than normal because of its issues on launch.
it had another propulsion problem in 2017, and
Yeah.
then it was declared a total loss in 2019 after just 3 years in space.
It's- yeah.
Oh
so
my
so
gosh.
then so and that's the 33E, but the another propulsion problem. So the Intelsat 29E, which is like a couple versions before, they also made was declared a total loss in 2019.
Oh, maybe
that's what I was looking at. Yeah, so that's the one before. 33E is the one that had a propulsion problem in 2016, another one in 2017, and
okay.
it decreased its 15-year estimated lifespan by 3.5 years.
Basically, they're junk.
Yeah, and the one before that, the 29E, I think there's a couple of versions obviously before that, after that, but it was declared a total loss in 2019 after being just 3 years in space. Now look at that on an ROI, like a return on investment,
Terrible.
when it costs like millions to get that up into space. and it's only up there for 3 years. Ooh, it's not
You're not
good.
getting your money out of that.
And I'm like, oh man, poor Boeing. They can't catch a break. But then I'm just
No.
kind of like, wait a second. I think this is just how they've always been.
This is
Like,
the
it's-
chickens
it's
coming home
becoming
to
a-
roost.
Yeah, it's more like this is their track record. This is showing a pattern that in their 737s, in their Starliner, in their satellites, like they cut corners or they don't QA their stuff.
I'm
Or
telling
they
you.
have really bad engineers.
Go check out that last week tonight with John Oliver that they did the episode they did about Boeing, and it lays it all out there. They don't talk about the space stuff; they're only focused on the passenger plane aspect of it. But it goes hand in hand. It was when McDonnell Douglas bought Boeing.
Yeah.
Everything at that point just started to go downhill, and now, like I said, we're seeing the chickens come home to roost.
Yeah.
And the culmination of all their poor decisions over the last 20 plus years.
Chickens
And-
come home to roost.
Have you not
Yeah.
heard that saying before, Jaron?
I have, but it just hit me that makes no sense.
Why doesn't it make
Chickens
sense?
come home to roost every night.
Right.
It's
Isn't that a good thing?
It's
Yeah.
their,
We
it's
want them
their-
to roost.
It's their issues coming back to them. It's their,
Oh.
It's their problems coming back.
Okay. And their problems are going to lay eggs.
possibly.
Might be more problems later.
Judas Priest. Okay, moving right along. Anything else about Starliner
Nope,
and
that's
Boeing?
it. Nope.
Awesome. I want to give you guys an update here. We've talked a lot about McDonald's, and specifically McDonald's ice cream machines in this show. There's been a whole saga,
I'm
right?
so ready for this. I'm here for this.
So, you know, the problem is Taylor, the people who make the ice cream machines for McDonald's, have created a repair monopoly, if you will. Some
Yeah,
would
we talked
say
about
that
that,
it
yeah.
sure seems as if they create these machines in such a
Yeah.
way that they will fail, and then they must be replaced by only Taylor technicians.
Yeah.
Mm,
Remember,
Is what it
this-
seems like.
Remember the
can't-
company, Kitsch. Kitsch.
Right.
Kitsch.
Catch,
Anyway.
catch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever.
They actually developed a special item to help you fix your own machines. But of
Like
course,
a
they got
Rosetta
sued.
Stone. Like a Rosetta
Yeah.
Stone. Gave you the error codes, told you what was broken where. It was a free in-place like plug and play.
Then they
It was
got sued.
simple and it was elegant, and Taylor did not like it.
Of course
and
not.
They came to McDonald's and said, fix it. And McDonald's blackballed them and torpedoed them and threatened every franchise owner that might void their entire safety warranty.
And not only that, the franchise owners had no recourse
Yeah.
due to the DMCA, the copyright law that protects intellectual property, right? And Taylor claimed that, like, hey, this is intellectual property, it's ours, you can't touch it.
Yep.
Same thing going on with John Deere. A similar story with John Deere tractors,
Yeah,
right? And the right to repair,
Yep. That's
and all
what
that
this
kind
is
of
all
stuff.
About.
So it turns out every few years, and I'm actually not seeing it here in the article, but I read somewhere that every few years, the FTC actually meets and offers exceptions to these rules. So recently, they specifically granted an exemption to McDonald's ice cream machines for the right to repair. So no longer is it illegal to have a third party fix your ice cream machine at McDonald's, and you are protected by law to have an outside party repair your ice cream machine.
That's so
the-
nuts
it
that
was
we
the
were
cop-
even at that place.
Well, it was
Right?
the exception you're talking about wasn't from the FTC; it was from the Copyright Office, saying that
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
DMCA does not apply to the stuff in these items, and one of
Right.
the items was the
McDonald's
the
ice cream
McDonald's
machine.
ice cream machine. So
Yeah.
they can't get in trouble for DMCA violations.
Yep, and specifically the franchisees can bypass the digital locks that prevented them from
Yep.
repairing the machine. So that Kitsch company that's now out of business,
Yeah.
totally
I
in the clear.
believe that they're trying to get a settlement now.
Oh, interesting.
Because they received emails, or there was a smoking gun from McDonald's to Taylor that was still circumstantial evidence, but it was basically like this was the mob hit, like this was the wink.
Yeah.
Like
I remember that.
Get these
So,
guys,
yeah.
give them some cement boots. That goes into effect on the 28th. Wait, yesterday goes into effect yesterday.
Yeah, so basically, this feels like a nice, happy resolution to the ice cream saga that is McDonald's ice cream machines. And hopefully, just hopefully, it means more ice cream for everybody.
Would you say it is a happy meal?
Oh,
The story.
I would say that. I would
You know,
say that.
I've got a. We'll talk about this in the next show, but I have the sad side of that story. And every in 2027, they get to do this again. The DMCA gets reviewed again for exclusions and exemptions. So maybe big ice cream, or Taylor will get it revoked or get the exemption removed.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Big ice cream.
So, Tony, I'm seeing a headline here about solid-state batteries. I feel like we've had this headline like 4 or 5 times. And it's like, hey, it's actually happening. It's like, yeah,
more
maybe,
than that.
maybe not. But this time you put on there again. And I feel like since it's from Tony, it might actually be real this time.
Hey,
So
was my Apple news not real? Are you not entertained?
About
referring
solid-state
about
batteries,
solid-state
specifically, Darren.
So SSBs, as I call them, solid state batteries.
Is that what you call them?
I call them SSBs. Yep, because it's like a SSD, solid state disk, but it's batteries. SSB. This is a story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, coming from electric.co. I read their stuff occasionally. They're a pretty reliable source on electric vehicles in general.
Remind us what an SSB is and why they're so cool and why they're the holy
Solid
grail
state
of batteries.
I will get to that.
Okay.
They had an article up earlier this week or late last week that talked about Stellantis, who owns a lot of car companies, including Fiat and your Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, etc. They have announced that they've been teamed up with this other company for quite a while, but things are finally bearing fruit. Factorial is the company. In 2026, the electric Dodge Charger Daytona will be the first equipped with Factorial's solid-state EV batteries. They are basically announcing a firm release date for solid-state batteries in their flagship, sports. I don't want to say sports car, pony car. It's not really a sports car, but the Charger Daytona. Now, this is all the things we've talked about in the solid state battery stuff. It looks like it's going to come to pass on this. So the solid state batteries don't need to be nearly as large to have the same amount of power capacity. They charge much, much faster, and they don't degrade nearly as fast when fast charging and things like that as well.
So they charge faster, they're lighter.
And they're lighter,
is-
yep.
And they're safer.
And they're safer.
And they're safer. They don't
Yep.
start on
They're-
fire.
They're
as
better
easily.
in every way, basically. But they are saying here that at a third of the size of the current battery pack in the Daytona, they are planning on having 600 miles of range at a third of the battery size.
That's insane.
That's amazing. That's
That eliminates that anxiety. Range
yeah,
range
yeah.
anxiety, sure.
It makes like EVs just single-handedly better than anything else.
Yep, it's pretty freaking cool. So, and then of course they're going to trickle that battery tech into their other products, but they're doing it first with the Dodge Charger Daytona, and it'll be 2026. So it'll probably be the 2027 model year when it debuts in 2026.
I wish
But yeah.
I wish these articles talked about charge time.
So in everything we've read before about charge time for solid state batteries, it has usually been significantly faster than the lithium ion stuff. I mean when I say significantly faster, I mean like a reduction of 80% of time needed to
Right.
charge.
That's why I'm surprised these articles don't actually mention that.
Yeah,
That's
I
a big
think-
deal.
I think they're more excited just talking about the range and things like that. But yeah, it is a little bit surprising that that they're not talking about that. What they are also talking about, though, too, is this Charger Daytona will have 496 horsepower, 404 foot-pounds of torque, and a 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, which when you're talking electric cars, that's good, not great.
Yeah, but still, for the regular person,
Yeah, it's gonna be
insane.
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
like for the regular
that's
computer.
That's the starting price of $59.90,
which is really
59,000,
decent
which is
for this kind of car.
for that kind of car, for that kind of power and the demographic they're going for with this. That's not a bad price. And if you want to get a little more spendy for $73K, it has, I don't like this name, the Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack.
Yeah.
Scat is poop. Why are they calling it a Scat Pack?
It's
It's
fun
not like
to say.
Isn't that like the jazz group too, though? The scat.
There's
Is that or is
scatting.
that the Rat Pack? That's the Rat.
That's the
Pack.
rap. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Not
Anyway,
the Scat Pack.
I don't know why they chose that.
Pretty
but
close. Jared. I need that.
For 73K, you're getting 670 horsepower, 0 to 60, 3.3 seconds. So you're getting that's extremely respectable. So looks pretty rad. I'm not in the market for something like this, but for those who are in 2026, you're gonna have something pretty cool to look forward to.
I will believe it when I see it, but I'm very excited.
Yeah.
When this my father, I think I mentioned this before. I'm not sure if I mentioned on the show or not, but he's a press car reviewer. He gets to do press car every week, writes about it for the newspapers here in Utah. And he's got a number of electric vehicles. He's driven them long distances, like from Denver to here and whatnot. And his biggest complaint is charging time. He's like, the range is okay, but I have to go and sit 2 hours at a charging station, and it adds, so many hours. He's like, it's a pain. I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. It's a pain. So if the charging time went down, it becomes less of a pain for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. But that also depends on what chargers he's going to, because the high output chargers paired with a high output car, like one that can receive that much electricity, your 2 hour charge, it's not going to be 2 hours. It's going to be like 30 minutes, which is still longer than a gas pump. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it varies.
But if it went down 80% for solid state batteries, that would be like that. To me, the longer range, sure, that's a big freaking deal.
Yep.
But even bigger than that is the convenience of the charge time going down by 80% or more. Like that alone, all of a sudden kicks electric cars into like huge feasibility zone.
Well,
I looked it up. Scat. Hey, what do you say? What do you say to like a cat or an animal? You're like scram, scat, scat. Scat means get out of here.
Okay.
And then pack makes it the reference to the famous Scat Pack. It actually comes from the 1960s when Dodge first started naming their muscle cars that. Anyway,
that makes sense.
But Scat has.
Thank you, AI Owen.
Yeah, Scat has historically meant poop though. Like that's before they were calling it muscle cars. Scat's been called Scat for ever.
Yeah, forever.
So.
Yeah.
Speaking of EVs, Scout Motors has been resurrected.
Oh man, these
are
good.
Did you just do my job for me?
Were they called Scout Motors back in the day, or were they international?
They were international, and they had a line of vehicles that
called the Scout.
The Scout.
Right. Anyway, Scout is back. It is a company financed by Volkswagen. It's going to be completely built in the U.S. They are mighty fine looking EVs. There is an SUV and a truck. They are set to come out in 2026.
Ooh, yeah.
This is their 2027.
They've got that Ford Bronco look.
Yeah,
like that.
If you look, if the first year they brought back the Ford Bronco, I think is by far the best looking version of it they have, because as each iterative year has come up, they've softened the front.
Yeah,
made it look a lot less retro and cool for some reason.
Yeah. So this kind of maintains that retro coolness that Bronco no longer has. But a lot of cool features. Tony's very excited about it.
If this weren't a brand new company and this being their very first model of anything, I would probably very much consider putting down a reservation.
Seriously,
because it's $100 reservation and it's refundable. So I mean, you're not out anything if you decide not to do it. But I can't get behind a brand new company's first model run on something.
Yeah,
they're claiming 350 miles of range, which, as Tony just said, if there are indeed solid-state batteries coming out in 2026, this will be behind the curve.
Yep.
If that does happen. But then you can get a range extender, a gas-powered range extender that will increase it to above 500 miles, which is a cool option.
It's two different models. They have the regular model that's 350-mile range estimated, and then the other one is just a completely different model that has a 150-mile range battery pack with the generator built in. So when you want to go further than 150 miles, the generator just kicks on. Chevy did this years ago with the Chevy Volt, and they stopped after that line when they shut that line down, which I don't get, because I think that's a really good, efficient way of doing it.
The insides look great too with the bench seats, and
they have bench seats in the front. Yeah,
I love the styling of this.
It looks
of both
awesome.
models. Yeah, they look really good.
I want that truck bad. It looks so good.
And if you get the Scout Terra, You could get 10,000 pounds of towing. I mean, that's enough to tow a decent sized trailer.
Yeah,
What are
you can
your
tow like
range?
100 miles.
You could probably go.
That's cool.
You could probably go to the park and back.
That's right.
But you could still do it.
0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, though.
Yeah.
I
As Tony would say, that's pretty mid for a.
No,
electric vehicle.
3.5 is great.
For
What
a
was
truck.
the mid number? 3.9.
Anything under 4 is pretty dang
okay.
good.
See,
Anything
I
above
could
4
go
is
for
kinda-
the.
for electric is like, that's good.
Yeah, I could get it on board with the SUV model, like the Bronco looking one. But for a truck, I need a full size bed. Like I need a bigger bed.
It's a small bed. It's like 5.5
Yeah.
feet long.
It's
I
like a
think.
Toyota Tacoma looking short bed.
That's fine for me. I don't
Yeah,
need anything more
they're
than
still. It's still a sexy looking truck. I want
that-
one.
that interior just looks so good.
Yeah. And
awesome.
Can you lay down the thing for a console too?
Yeah.
Weird.
The
front seat lays
SUV has
down.
the freaking biggest sunroof I've ever seen in my life. Jerry Rig Everything did a video on it. He was there for the reveal. They brought him in, and it's only like a 5 or 6 minute video, but check it out. It's really cool. It showed. I'm talking about like the sunroof on this thing is like the whole roof basically. It's wild.
Almost like a convertible. Just
Almost. But
All right, dear listener. Thank you for listening this week. It's time to wrap things up. But before we go, we're going to talk about the Patreon. Patreon's awesome. Like, if you're not a subscriber to Patreon, boy, are you missing.
Intel CPUs.
Next week,
We're
Tony.
We're out of time, Tony. I'm driving.
You're
If you
driving.
don't like the way I drive, don't let me drive.
You're driving.
It's like been dang near 50 minutes. And by the time the Patreon stuff's all done, we'll be an hour long, which is overtime for the show. Boom. Anyway, I want to talk about Patreon. Patreon is awesome. Like, our Patreon benefits, I think, are top notch. First of all, access super secret Discord channel. Great news. Like, you get to talk to like us directly and all the other
Dude,
cool subs.
Jared is so funny and responsive in there. It's my favorite.
It's the best. You also get access
Don't
to
oversell
a secret Patreon, your own personal Patreon feed that includes both shows all wrapped up in one, which gives you Helpdesk early, Game Show like 3 days early, plus they come as one package with the in-between. It's awesome. So good. You get all those benefits for just $1. $1 a month. You can spare that, right? $1 a month. Give up one of those McDonald's ice cream cones. Just give up that
Which are
for
more
one
than
a month
$1.
and give it to us, and you'll have access to all those really cool things. If you pay us more money, $6 a month, you get a special shout out on the air from Jaron. And here's what's cool about the special shout out in the air, right? You get to hear us say your name. That's cool. But the real benefit, dear listener, is you can make Jaron say whatever you want. Give us $6, and
it's
he basically
collateral
becomes your
damage.
mouthpiece to say whatever
And-
you want.
And
it's
it's collateral
awesome.
damage me, usually on backup, which I don't know if I approve of that.
I
You
1,000%
did a
approve of
fine
that.
job.
I approve of that totally. So anyway, this is all to say, for $1 a month you get a lot of benefits. For $6 a month you get more. So maybe consider subscribing. Thank you.
I just wanted to point out that we actually had a new subscriber this last week.
Let's
Argo
freaking
Sportin',
go.
and
Let's
he-
go.
I
he
think
called-
Lando made a bet.
He called you out twice in the supporter page saying, "Hey Lando, I'm here. Are you going to say hi?" And
Let's go.
You did not.
I'm opening Discord right now.
Yeah, we're so responsive.
I'm gonna. You know what?
just
you know what?
Jaron.
You know what? Now that we've had a subscriber from all my hard work here, pimping the Patreon, I'm going on my phone. I'm turning notifications on. I'm going on my computer, turning notifications on. It's gonna happen. Thank you for making it happen, Jaron. Shout out to the people who paid lots of money.
Thank you to David Roshinsky, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and Elon Musk is a total Richard. Thank you guys.
Yeah, he is.
Richard.
Yeah, he is.
Richard.
Jason Eatman. Cuando escucho esta canción, mi corazón quiere cantar así, bidi bidi bom bom.
That's the best one you've ever done.
That was amazing.
No mole
Never
climbs
do
that can't
that.
be mouthin' hilled over. You can't trick me anymore. You know who else is a Patreon? My mom. Be the 8-year-old, Michael Shane, Tony the Home Theater Geek, Travis Johnson, buy a Geekshow Arcade Helpdesk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George K's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Keslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, the in-between rating +5. Matt Nelson, DP, Wesley, Adam, Stuart Lloyd, The Problem with Society is Meatballs is Tasty, and Ryan.
All right, Patreon
appreciate
backers.
yous.
Thank you so much. I'm just finishing your job up, Lando.
Thank you. Appreciates it. I'm checking Discord. Is what I'm doing.
Are you coming up with your outro? Who's doing is Tony doing
Don't ruin it. Tony, play the
Oh.
music.
Play the music?
Yeah, it's time. That's what I was waiting for. Is the music to be played?
All right, here we
I thought
go.
you checking Discord.
I'm
What
doing
are
that
you doing?
too.
Oh.
Thank you for listening, guys. We've reached the end of our show. Doesn't it feel good? We had a good one this week. We talked about solid-state batteries. We talked about McDonald's ice cream cones. We talked about all the Apple stuff. Like, we got a good time. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Tony, do the thing.
If you're worried about range anxiety, don't be. Solid-state batteries are coming in a couple of years. Be an end user.